So you early on, you sort of had somebody that was around who was an artist themselves, and
Yeah.
that sort of left an imprint on you.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's occurred with some people that I've spoken to as well, is having a mom who sung to them or sung music,
right.
or having a father who sung music or who wrote raps, or having a cousin who
Yeah.
wrote raps or recorded music, and having that person that can work as sort of a gateway to you to this
Yeah.
other world that you wouldn't have
Yeah.
known without them, or that you
Yeah.
wouldn't have been guided through without them.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that that's a real unique relationship to have. I think one of the things I've also tried to, as I've been talking to different people, bring up is the importance of, sometimes you're not necessarily the person that's going to break through whatever the glass ceiling is, or is going to take this, or who's going to end up, being able to make a full career out of this. Sometimes you just the gateway to the person who's going to have that experience. You the person who going to knock down a few doors for somebody else who can be able to have that, have that experience. And a lot of times, whoever it is that you got the music bug from, they was somebody who at some point, imagine having that dream, or imagine being that person. And what it's manifested in is, somebody coming a generation or two generations after them, being able to sort of pick up on some of the things that they've seen someone else do and take it a little bit further. You talked about writing early on, and watching your dad freestyle early on, and then starting to get on the computer and record music. Talk to me about some of your first recording experiences and how that sort of changed you as an artist, and things like that.
All right, so after back in those times, where it's all like outside bikes and, and playing and all this, and then all of it starts to go to technology era, era where, so now I'm probably like 13, 14. I've seen, I had a couple homies around who would have something like Audacity or Mixcraft, and now I'm getting intrigued though, So I stayed on Island. The first person across the street I actually seen record on a computer was my older brother, Nick. This man asked me to record one day, and I walk in seeing his computer. I'm bro, you doing this all on the computer? So it kind of really took my mind from I'm like, okay, now it's a whole nother, I have a newer way of doing stuff, After watching him do it, I'm like, okay, now I know I can do this myself. I got a computer. I get to figuring out the programs he got. He got Mixcraft. Then I go buy a little $8 computer mic. So now I'm just trying stuff, download instrumentals. That's right around the time of the LimeWire era. So now I'm able to download my own instrumentals, put them all on CDs or however I do it, or I got a whole catalog of instrumentals on my computer now. So it went from a whole analog era to right to straight digital, and it started evolving everything. At the age and all where it happened, a lot of the homies start coming around, a lot of stuff start forming as it start happening. So that was probably the craziest, it's just a crazy transition with time, I feel like, what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that that is one of the things that's, real unique about living in a time period in which we do, where so many things that were really niche at a certain point in time have sort of widened and have a broader amount of people who participate in it.
Right.
I always, as I've been talking to different people, I think, I don't know, maybe the oldest person who I've had a conversation with maybe is around 38, 39.
Right.
Myself, I'm 34. I've had conversations with people that's 29, in that next 5-year age gap, then 24, 23, that age gap. And I think that each one of these little different periods, you can see the shift in something that was real niche, where it wasn't that many people recording music, when I was growing up, and I remember watching my homie slowly build his studio up, and he was the only person that was recording for maybe 100 people, and as he got better at recording was how much better everybody's music was able to get. And then, other people to the side began to get recording equipment, and it began to be a thing you can get at pawn shops a little easier, or that you can get online a little bit easier than the Same thing. The programs began to be more common. The program Fruity Loops, more people would have Fruity Loops. More people had Audacity and Pro Tools and Acid Pro. And as more people had these things, more people began to have computers. And as more people began to have these things, something that was where growing up, all you could ever really do maybe would have been write music or to freestyle or something like that. Now you have the ability to actually be a recording artist and to record music. And I think that was something that made a lot of more people get the music bug and have that desire to do it, because it made it more accessible, where it wasn't like you could just imagine hearing your voice on a song, or you could do a freestyle with your friends and hear your voice on a song. You could tangibly do it. And then as music became more digital, even for the consumer, you could get more people to listen to your music, and that really changes the desire that you have for creating music. When you begin to see people, gravitating towards what you're creating, when you begin to feel some of that enjoyment of putting something out and releasing it, and seeing something completely through that started off just as a seed in your mind. So talk to me about